because I need people to know that, like, mental things is scary. Like, not being able to control, like, depression or schizophrenia. Like, I don't have schizophrenia, but, you know, being bipolar, and it's just like all those things, like not being able to control your mind sometimes or your emotions or anything. It's one of the most scariest things in the world. Hey guys, welcome to a new vlog. Yes, I still have my rash. I have come to very high terms here with the fact that I am allergic to the makeup wipes that I bought. So I threw them away. No more. Gonna go back to Neutrogena because that's who treats me right. My face has always been super sensitive. I should have known this was gonna happen. Okay, I just sat you guys down. But so yeah, my calves just kept getting bigger and bigger, and my legs would get bigger and bigger as I would gain weight. I never knew what lymphedema was until I started watching My 600-Pound Life, and I always told myself I'm never gonna get to that point. I don't know what I would do if I ever got lymphedema. Like, if you're watching this and you have lymphedema, I'm not like saying anything rude about it. It's just like, it scared me because I've just seen so many sad stories, and it just like broke my heart. And I just never wanted that to be me because of my weight, because it's like I ruined my body and that's like my fault. So every time someone on YouTube would be like, oh, that's her lymphedema, I got hurt by it when it first started happening. And then it started happening so much that I kind of became numb to it, and then I started joking about it myself. But I never had lymphedema, ever. And it was a few months ago, I was getting up off the bed and I felt the bottom of my stomach, and it was lymphedema. I've had time to kind of come to terms with this, so I feel like it's okay to talk about it, but at first it was gut wrenching. And then I think it was about a week later, I noticed it in my right leg. A lot of people have been noticing that my right leg is so much bigger, and it's because I have lymphedema in that leg. Like, that leg's always been bigger. Horrid. Like, it just got way bad again. And so, as you guys know, I went to the doctor. I was terrified to go to the doctor. I used to take antidepressants when I was a teenager. I actually took my first antidepressants when I was 10 years old. 10 years old! Like, what is that? And I've taken my fair share of antidepressants. Some worked, some didn't. And so I went to the doctor here because my depression was just becoming so bad and my anxiety was bad. I wouldn't have panic attacks, but my anxiety was just like constant. So Wellbutrin used to work for me when I was a teenager. So I recently went on Wellbutrin and I noticed that it wasn't working for me. It was giving me just really bad anxiety, and I was mad at everything. And so I got put on Lexapro. And like, Lexapro, oh my god, it's gonna sound so fucking dumb. Like, what am I doing right now? I've been on Lexapro for, I think it's been almost 3 months now, and I have been taking it for a week. So let me tell you. Someone asked, did you contact your doctor about the congestive heart failure concerns like you said you would? I 100% did, and she told me it is definitely just because I am gaining weight rapidly, which she said is due to me binge eating and eating so many calories at once. And she actually gave me so many tips on how I can lose weight and stop this from happening, and it's definitely not congestive heart failure. So just stop putting negative thoughts in people's heads. Like, calm down. I hate when people, like, in the comments diagnose other YouTubers. Like, I'll be watching like my favorite YouTuber, and like in the comments, like, they'll be like, oh, this person has da-da-da, this person has da-da-da, and I'm just like, how do you know? Did you run the test? to the ER because that pain is still there in my back. Of course, it's nowhere near as bad as it was, but it's like a constant dull ache in my right lower back, kind of where you'd get some kidney pain. So I, for one, am worried, and I want to get that checked out or just see what the hospital says. It is midnight, so I'm going at a time where not a lot of people are usually there. So I'm going to try my hardest not to take up anyone's time. I just know that if something is wrong with my kidneys, I better nip it in the butt now. But that's just where my head is going and where I'm worried. It could be a UTI. I've never had one before, so I don't know. So I'm just really nervous. So I'm kind of just like, I have really bad anxiety when it comes to taking medicine, and I started crying. I know it's like kind of dumb, but that's just part of my anxiety that I have, is medicine-induced anxiety or whatever it's called. I can't really control it. I'm just gonna have to get over it. But it's just like I constantly think about all of the bad things that can happen to you for taking medicine. And like I read everything because I give you like pages every time you get a prescription, and I just read it all, and it's terrifying because every single one is like, you can die, you can get this, you can get that, you can get this. I'm just like, okay. It is now in my system. So if you guys didn't watch my last video, I was diagnosed with a bunch of different things, and one of them is I have bipolar disorder. And I figured I did, and it's just kind of crazy to like be actually diagnosed with it. So that is why I am taking this mood stabilizer, because I can't take antidepressants. She said that's actually why antidepressants don't work for me, is because I am bipolar. So we're gonna be taking a mood stabilizer, which I've never taken before, and it's not supposed to start actually working until 3 to 6 weeks. So today is day 1. So we did this thing. We are one step closer to a better DrLynn. Hey guys, so a little mini update. Today has not been my day. I've just been experiencing a lot of like depression, anxiety, and things like that. And Becky's trying to make people feel better, so we're literally sitting on the floor. And I feel like if I was to go through and do this, like what the surgeon wants me to do, I'm going to become overwhelmed, stressed out. I just don't want to mess up the flow of my brain right now. I have no reason or desire to do that because what I'm doing right now is working. And a lot of people are just like, get help, get help, get help. I am going to be seeing a psychiatrist, and I am nervous. I'm just really nervous because there are things about myself that I question. I know being bipolar does run in the family, and I feel like I might have, I feel like I have bipolar tendencies, and I'm nervous about that, and I want to see someone about that. I want to see someone more about my depression and my anxiety and focus on those things and those issues at hand while I am working on losing weight by myself. I think I'm a little numb with what went down in the appointment. I don't think I've ever been asked so many questions in my life about my past and just how I'm feeling and like things I went through, and like it was like crazy. And it was such an overflow, and the girl was so kind and patient and gentle, which made it a lot easier for me. But I did end up crying. I figured I was going to, especially talking about my past and like talking about current situations within like my mental state and stuff. I talked about things that I just don't even talk about ever, honestly. It's things that I don't share on YouTube, that I don't really talk about, with people in my life. It was a good time to just word vomit, let it all out, let this person know everything they need to know, because that is why I went there. It was time to figure out what is really wrong with me, because there are people in the comments who are like, you're this, you're that, you're not this, you're not that. Stop throwing that around. You keep saying you're this. Stop self-diagnosing. You're not that. Like, it's just so much. And it's just like, I live with myself 24/7, and I know how I feel, and I know the things that I have to go through because I'm trapped in my own body. And it's like, I have family members who have certain mental things, and it's like, I'm starting to act like them. Why? And it's just like it's a bunch of stuff. So without going into grave detail, I'm just gonna let you know what the heck went down regarding like diagnosing, because that has just been a big hot topic in my channel, because people like to diagnose me, people like to undiagnose me, people just like to throw things around, and then the minute I do it to myself, people get like mad about it. It's like a situation. I have finally went and saw someone. So the first thing is I have really bad memory loss from traumatic events that happened in my childhood. I figured that was the case because I don't remember a lot of things that happened in my childhood or even in my teenagehood. Is teenagehood like a word? I just don't remember a lot. And she said it's memory loss due to traumatic events, which makes a lot of sense. Obviously, I was diagnosed with depression. That is a given. I mean, I've known since I was 9 years old. That is when I was first diagnosed with depression. That hasn't changed, although I will say it's gotten worse. I was diagnosed with anxiety/panic disorder. Obviously, I struggle with so much anxiety. I have panic attacks. I described to her what my panic attacks look like, and it was hard to talk about. I, for one, felt like I was gonna have one just talking about it. I really don't want to trigger anyone in this video, so like I'm not gonna go into detail, but that wasn't obvious. I knew that as well. Anxiety has a bunch of small little things that go along with it, and it's just a lot, and I feel like it dampens a lot of my everyday life. So this next one, well, these next two for me are ones that it's just like they kind of hit me harder because like I knew the other ones like were obvious. I was diagnosed with obsessive compulsive personality disorder, and I've always known that I had like obsessive tendencies within the way I do things in my life. I have talked about this before in a very long past YouTube video. I don't like going into detail with this stuff because I am embarrassed. That's just the way I am. And it's just like to finally have a name to what I've been experiencing is a little cray-cray for me. And I feel like I'm a little numb to it. The next one for me is I am bipolar. Why I'm not saying this is a bad weight loss doctor. He's probably freaking amazing, but I do find some things odd and strange, and I had time to kind of rethink, rehash, and figure out if this is right for me. See, the thing is, I've had a lot of people contact me and tell me, you know, sometimes the first weight loss doctor you see isn't going to be the right one. Sometimes you don't even need to see a weight loss doctor. You need to see a nutritionist, you know, and all this stuff. And I didn't want to believe it. I was like, no, this is going to be my one and only. I'm so excited. But let me just talk for a minute. So the first thing I found strange is that he didn't think weight loss surgery was right for me. For someone my size, a lot of people my size, they get told that weight loss surgery is right for you. This is how you're going to save your life. But he didn't want to give me weight loss surgery. I had told him I had the money, and he still explained to me he didn't think weight loss surgery was going to make me lose weight. And I was just like, okay. Second thing is this broccoli situation. So we were going back and forth, and he was telling me what to eat, and he was telling me what kinds of foods I like because he didn't want me to eat things I didn't like, obviously. So he didn't mention anything of fruits and vegetables, not a single thing. And for some reason that shocked me because I feel like a good nutritional diet is to have fruits and vegetables. And I remember because I kept trying to because he kept just talking, he talked a lot about himself, which I enjoyed because he was talking about a lot about his experiences and stuff, but he kept going off on something else when he was trying to tell me what I was supposed to eat throughout the day. And for some reason, I even said this in the video before, he kept forgetting to tell me about what I should eat for dinners. And so finally, 3 different times, I was just like, So yeah, you didn't tell me what I have to do for dinner, and I felt kind of annoying, but like that was the thing. That was why I went there. He was supposed to, you know, tell me these things. He looked at me and he's like, so what do you think you should eat for dinner? And before I could even say anything, Becky was sitting and she was like, I'm thinking like chicken. He was like, exactly, you know, just a piece of meat. You can even go to McDonald's and have cheeseburgers if you wanted, just take off the bun. But he wasn't mentioning like fruits and vegetables. And for some reason that just like surprised me for some reason. So I was like, well, do I have, you know, stuff on the side? Do I have like veggies or whatever, like broccoli? And he was like, yeah, that's fine. But he was like, make sure you don't have a lot of it because it's filled with tons of carbs. And I was just like, okay. For some reason, in my gut kind of twisted a bit. You know how like when you should trust your instinct, trust your gut and your heart and what that says? Noticing that this mood stabilizer is helping me. You know, I'm sticking to the 100 days of uploading and I'm around people having a good time. My mood isn't bouncing up and down days upon end. I react to things differently than I used to. And honestly, like, it really is helping me. It makes me emotional because it's like, I can't believe that I finally was diagnosed with the right thing, because for so long I was just diagnosed with, oh, you're depressed. And so I would constantly try different antidepressants and nothing ever worked for me. So it's like finally to be diagnosed with the right thing and to take the medicine for it and it's helping me just shows and proves so much within my life that the things that I've been going through was because I was bipolar. And it's like, I felt like that was my normal. And now that I feel normal, because my mood is stabilized, I'm just like, wow. I woke up feeling so nauseous. I don't even think I have words for it. I had to get me some Pepto. I took that about an hour ago. Still hasn't helped. I hope I'm not getting sick. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of falling apart all at once. And I know exactly what the hater's gonna say. It's because you're almost 600 pounds. I can like write the story for you. I hurt my leg the other day, so that's been like hurting really bad, but I woke up today and it actually feels better. Started my period a couple days ago. I'm having like some gallstone situation. If you guys don't know, I have gallstones and that's been kind of flaring up lately. I think I have kidney stones. Like, we can just go down the whole like line of things. I've been having panic attacks. My face is breaking out. So many people will be like, this is the end for you. No, it's really not. I'm just like being as strong as possible. So it's 7:37 and I want to say about 20 minutes ago, I just got really cold with shivers, a little bit of nausea. Like I'm freezing right now. I was sitting on the floor and the floor is like super cold because we have like, what is it, hardwood floors? So I don't know if it's because the floor was cold, but I'm like freezing and I'm a little nervous. So I'm just hoping I'm not like getting sick or whatever, but I would say keep me in your thoughts, but this video won't be up. So I'm just gonna sit in my room for a bit and try to get as warm as possible. I did take my temperature, but it was only 96.6, which doesn't really make sense because isn't that like low? I don't know, but I'll keep you guys updated. So it's 8:19. I have a heating pad on my lap to help. I took my temperature again, 99.9. It's supposed to snow tonight. But I think if my temperature, sorry for all the pills on my blanket, but if my temperature gets to 102, I think I'm gonna have to go to the ER because it's like, could be anything. Flu, strep throat. I've been having pain in my back, which I talked about last vlog. Like, I just don't know, so. Right now we're at 100.7 and it's been an hour since the last time I checked it. I'm at the hospital. Look how dry my lips are. I've been trying to drink a lot of water though, but my temperature slowly rose even though I took NyQuil, and my temperature got up to 103.1, which like my brain like felt drunk. It's so weird. So I came here and they took my blood. I peed for them. They swabbed my nose. So hopefully we can get this figured out because I feel horrible. So we've been back home for about 9 hours now and I slept. I'm not really gonna talk about my diagnosis. Let's just say I'm gonna heal with medicine. And she explained the reason why when I stand or when I walk, that's why I don't feel pain anymore, which I've explained to you guys before, that when I stand or when I walk or when my legs are straight and not, you know, bent in any sort of way, that's when I no longer feel pain, because my blood, the air, the oxygen, and just everything, all the human body little circulation tidbits are able to circulate easier when I'm up, legs are straight, you know, things like that. And I was like, are you for real? That's what's wrong with me right now? So I am just so glad that I don't have a blood clot, because trust me, I was worried, Becky was worried, Becky's family was worried, Eric and Ricky were worried, y'all, like, y'all were worried. I've had so many people message me, and it's been a wild last 2 months, because that's how long it's been happening, and I'm just so glad that that's not what's wrong with me. Let's just be grateful that I don't have a blood clot, and we're just gonna move forward and prevent blood clots at all costs. So I happened to mention to my doctor how I sleep at night. I've had a lot of people ask me if I use all these pillows, you know, and I always say that I don't, because I really don't. I use about 3 pillows, and I don't want to like really admit this, because this is something that recently started. It actually started in 2018, so it has started this year. I don't lay down when I sleep. And I know that that is worrisome, because everyone lays down when they sleep. This is probably one of the reasons why I didn't want to share it with you guys, because it does freak me out. It did freak me out, and I always wondered, why do I feel better sleeping sitting up? And I know a lot of people would use that against me, so it's not really something that I wanted to like, hey everyone, I don't lay down when I sleep. Woo woo, let's make a rap about it. Let's make a bunch of hate videos about it. Yeah, let's do some edits about it. Yeah, DrLynn sits up when she sleeps. Woo woo, because y'all, there are some trolls watching me. So I talked to my doctor about that, and you know me and my awkward self, I was like, yeah, I sleep when I sit up, and it's probably sleep apnea, because I mean, look at me, you know, I was just making stupid jokes. I'm just like, why do I do that when I'm nervous and like try to just be dumb? Like, I'm just so dumb, like I can't. And she was like, yeah, that is sleep apnea. Like, she was just out in front with it, and she's like, it is. It's kind of scary to me that I didn't even need to do a sleep test for a doctor to straight out tell me that. And that's one thing. I don't want to get emotional. I got emotional at the doctor's. Okay. Rewind. That's one thing that I never wanted to be told, was that I had sleep apnea. That terrifies me. It terrifies me. Ugh, just the thought of it, because people can die from that in their sleep, and that's the reality of it. That is currently what I'm going through. So my bad news doesn't really end there. This is when I began to cry, and I was a blubbery mess, and I was emotional because I no longer take my antidepressants, so I now feel all my emotions, and I cry very dark in here, so sorry about that. Just ignore it. So yesterday, you guys saw a video from me where I got super nauseous, and I felt sick to my stomach, and I was just like done for. And I ended up ending the vlog saying that I felt nauseous and stuff like that. And it was right after I ate breakfast. And what I had for breakfast was an omelet and oatmeal. So I wasn't thinking anything of it. I just had my scrambled eggs, which tasted really good, like I was saying. And now I feel like miserable. I'm having cramps. I feel nauseous again. And I've talked to you guys about this before, and people make fun of me. I know I'm going to hear it again. I used to have an egg like intolerance, kind of like allergic reaction type thing. I would just say I have an egg allergy because it's easier to say. When I was younger, eggs made me really sick. And as a teenager, it wouldn't do it so much. And now, as an adult, it's starting to happen again. But it almost feels like it's 10 times worse. I literally feel so horrible. It's like cramps, and it's like this nauseous feeling where it's literally feels like you're about to vomit. I feel miserable. Like, I can't even come to terms with it. It's just such a simple breakfast, but now I know I can't have it anymore, which is okay. Like, there's still oatmeal and like other random things that I could figure out, but I just feel so bad, and I just cannot believe that this is happening again. This is actually very common. When I was younger, it started at a really young age, and for some reason, like, it didn't really happen in my teenage years, and that's why I shied away from eggs for the longest time, because I was afraid of them, because it made me feel horrible. And then in my early 20s, I noticed it didn't happen as much, and then it kind of just like randomly did, and now it's just like, whew, horrible, horrible, horrible. So I'm just gonna rest for a little bit, and I'm hoping it passes. Yesterday it was like a few hours, so